me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
People who reacted.
Welcome to another episode. This is season 1, episode 2. And I debated on what I wanted us to get into, but I think I decided to go with one of the most valuable, and I mean most valuable, top 3 lessons that I've ever had in basketball. And that is about the fingertips. So I was coached by a legendary coach in high school who had coached thousands of players. Like I said, his name was retired on the basketball court. And I had met him at a very pivotal time in my basketball journey. I probably was around 10 or 11 years old. All I knew was street ball. I didn't have much actual like in-game playing experience. A coach saw something in me and invited me to go to this basketball camp to a school, a high school, well-known high school in DC that I eventually ended up attending. All right. And so I remember one of our first lessons, the coach came out, he had slick back hair, had a ball spot up top, and he came in and you could tell he used to play basketball because he's always rubbing his hands together, always slicking his head back. He had that old school basketball player mentality. He was a tall guy. And he came out and he said, if there's one thing that I can teach you that will stick with you, is to use your fingertips. And he grabbed the ball and he just gripped it tight. And he showed how when he gripped the ball, it wasn't touching his palm. It was just his fingertips. And he says everything should start and end in this game with your fingertips. All right. Now, when you first catch the ball should always just be in this, it should always touch this region of your hand. But when you're shooting, the last point of release should be right at the tip of your fingertips. And it's important to work this, and your fingers are muscles. Right? So your whole finger, let me get the laser, your whole finger is a muscle, and they all work in coordination, driving force up to release up your fingertips. See, a lot of people take this part of the hand for granted. But what really happens is this is a powerhouse coming up through your body and releasing through your fingertips. So if you strengthen your fingertips, you can be a lot more effective in your control of the ball, your release, how you catch it, and most importantly, your dribble. All right. And later in this session, I gave you a couple drills that I used over time that I found was really successful in improving my dribble and my shot. So what I first want to give this image out the way is for you to really appreciate your fingers and how important they are in the game of basketball. There is no basketball player who plays D1 or at a high level who does not have strong fingers. And I will go so far to say that this is in any sport. So for my baseball players, you'll find that baseball players are typically really good shooters or have really good control of the ball because they're constantly squeezing the baseball. When you're a pitcher, you played a little bit of baseball growing up, it's important to have a tight grip on that ball. They even put stuff on their fingers. You see when LeBron James comes on the court, before he gets on the court, he rubs that white powder. And so that improves his grip. Not so that the ball is tighter on his palm, but gets tighter on his fingertips. All right? It's one of the most unique things of your body, your fingertips, and it's also happens to be one of the most important tools you can use in becoming a better player.